Elder Charles Bulgin.
Good afternoon, delegates. It's a joy and privilege to greet you in the mighty name of Jesus, our soon-coming King, as he leads this great conference, and specifically the communication department of Central Jamaica Conference, as we continue to build bridges of hope, sharing the gospel through technology. We started the quadrennial with Pastor Damian Chambers. Pastor Chambers got a call to serve at Northern Caribbean University. And I want to say thanks to Pastor Damian Chambers for his leadership, his stewardship in the department at the conference. He did a tremendous job. And then the baton was handed over to our Executive Secretary, Pastor Neville Barrett, who hold the department for a short while, and then L. David Harris took the baton, and he too also did his part in furthering the gospel through technology. And then, in a short space of time, the baton was handed to me. And I want to give God thanks for his strength, for his guidance. And I want to thank the executive committee and the administration of the conference for the confidence that they showed in me and the rest of the team. Mrs. Medley, my associate, I want to say thanks to her. And Mishka May Bono, Andrew Johnson, Wendian Masters, Mahada Thomas, Michael Spence. These are the individuals that work with us in-house to push the department a little further. Today, we have a short video presentation. The report has been prepared, and in a book, you can read the report. But we have a short video to share with you. So please view this report. Thank you.
There are many functions of the communication department, but our main purpose is to build bridges of hope
and provide effective and inviting ways for people to get to know Jesus.
This involves creating communication channels between the church and the community for the gospel's sake and for members to share this hope.
We are delighted to share with you some of the things we have accomplished during the years under review.
The quadrennium commenced with major activities for this strategic imperative being the live streaming of the Jamaica Union's Lay Evangelism Summit, per convention and camp meeting and Lay Institute at Camp Verley. To facilitate better communication among CJC workers, at the start of the year 2019, under the leadership of Pastor Damian Chambers, the setup of G Suite emails for all workers was done, followed by training sessions for administrative assistants on the use of the G Suite apps. Using MailChimp and Google Sites platform to send our weekly announcement to the churches, the team was able to obtain statistics on subscriber activities and allow users to subscribe on their own. We currently have 1,648 subscribers with a 19.55% open rate. We sent 150 editions of the eFocus Weekly Advisory from June 15, 2018 to December 31, 2021. We used the printed pages to keep our constituents up to date on happenings within the conference and the wider Seventh-day Adventist Church. We published 2 editions of the Central Focus magazine and the CJC calendar and distributed over 1,000 copies between 2018 and 2019.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jamaica presents Morning Manna.
Our department also hosts 3 weekly radio programs. These programs are as follows: Lifeline on NCUFM, Heralds of Hope on Love 101, produced and edited by Charles Bulgin, Morning Manna on Love 101, produced and edited by Andrew Johnson and hosted by Pastor Dwayne Scott. We also host a daily podcast on YouTube and Facebook titled Your Daily Portion with host L. David Harris, former Communications Director for the Central Jamaica Conference. A total of 87 episodes have been produced. We currently host copies of our radio programs on SoundCloud for easy access to listeners and sharing online. The conference currently uses the social media platforms for official communication and sharing of content as follows: Facebook with 18,398 followers, Instagram with 1,792 followers, Twitter with 802 followers, and YouTube with 18,700 subscribers, SoundCloud with 40 followers, and Flickr, where we host over 37,297 photos. On July 4 to 6, we joined the Jamaica Union for the Global Adventist Internet Network GAIN Conference under the theme Connect and Share the Gospel According to Technology. The conference was held at the Iberia Star in Montego Bay over 3 days, pulling together presenters and specialists in their field from Jamaica, North America, the Inter-American Division, and the Adventist World Church.
The gospel according to technology, from tablet to tablet. We encountered the first tablet on top of the mountain as God writes with his own finger the law.
We were able to equip and inform over 30 local church communication secretaries and their teams. One of the main highlights of the conference was the recognition and award of Mrs. Kimarley Walker Medley, then technical producer, for her significant impact in the field of communication within and outside the church. To encourage increased utilization of Adventist identity standards, we prepared flyer templates to demonstrate the use of the identity standards. We also conducted and participated in local and district communication workshops to inform our members on the role of the communication department and the use of technology in ministry. Other activities done includes hosting of computer classes for St. Conuca Senior Camp, the installation of 5 wireless access points at the Camp Verley site to facilitate wider distribution of internet connection, the creation of G Suite email addresses for up to 50 churches with the intention to create for all, the creation of an account on Workspace to facilitate communication among the CJC workers, and hosting weekly departmental empowerment sessions, monthly advisory meetings, and quarterly board meetings. In September 2019, the baton of leadership was passed from Pastor Damian Chambers to Executive Secretary Pastor Neville Barrett, and on November 1, 2019, we also welcomed a new member to our team in the person of Mishka May Bonner. Pastor Barrett led the department to the close of 2019. Director L. David Harris joined us on January 1, 2020. 2021 was a pivotal year for the Seventh-day Adventist Church because of the COVID-19 pandemic that gave birth to permanent digital evangelism in CJC. During this time of crisis and disruption, the Seventh-day Adventist Church remained committed to the mission of lifting Christ. As a department, we acquired new hardware and software to improve the quality of service provided by the communication team. These included Switchboard Live. Since our acquisition of this tool, we have been able to stream our CJC online services to interested local churches' Facebook and YouTube pages. a high-definition video camera and Blackmagic switcher and other accessory equipment to enhance our live streaming capabilities, 2 Dell PRC gaming computers, a digital soundboard, 2 LED 100 watts bicolor lights, and 9 1200 watts LED soft lights, 5 microphones to include a boom and lav mic, Adobe Creative Cloud Suite for media editing, 3 licensed Zoom platforms.
And we hope for everyone to join us and be a member and be a part of this Central Jamaica Conference online church.
After a year of planning and preparation, the Central Jamaica Conference online church was launched on May 8, 2021. Since the launch of the church, over 16,409 persons have subscribed to our channel. The programs broadcasted covered several areas of ministries. We have conducted a total of 13 online evangelistic programs. All services were streamed live on the CJC's Facebook and YouTube pages and the conference's website at watchcjclive.com. Bless TV, NCU TV, and radio, and numerous local churches' platforms also broadcasted the services. To properly accommodate online church worship experiences and evangelistic programming, digital decision cards were created and utilized during all live streams. We have had many success stories of persons surrendering their lives to God through digital evangelism. To date, over 500 persons were baptized. The department created media programs that highlighted current Adventist lifestyle through health practices, family life, community outreach, and doctrines. Here are some of the features that were done. A feature on a fundamental doctrine on Lifeline at least once per quarter. Your Health and You video series that promoted Adventist health practices in association with the Health Ministries Department. A promotional feature on the H.S. Walters Health Center. A documentary feature on the Life Hope Center in Mandeville. 2 spotlight features in the JA Adventist online program dubbed Health That Matters with Health Ministries Director Mrs. Dion Bent Henry. We served the community through our online presence as well as physically. Over the period, we were able to offer the following services online. We hosted 2 online conventions and camp meetings to connect and nurture our members. 150 articles were prepared by the department and posted to the conference website, and additional resources were posted to the respective departments' pages. Members were also encouraged to write and publish articles in the public press. The department published at least 6 articles in the Gleaner. We also supported the Willowdene Group of Schools Promotion and Marketing Committee to improve student retention, enhance Adventist education awareness, alumni engagement, and financial viability. During the quadrennium, the director visited and participated in the Ministry of Care and Compassion community engagements in McCoy Gardens and Moko.
What's the purpose of a church in a community? I hope that today you've gotten your answer. It is about community transformation.
Meanwhile, through the Church in Action video features, we highlighted the following ministries: religious liberty, leadership, Thur, women, children, youth, community services, family life, and Sabbath school and personal ministries. As we look forward to the second coming of Jesus, we hope to continue to use all media to enhance the preaching of the gospel into all the world.
It has been an enriching and exciting journey to manage communication in the past 4 years. So many things has changed. We are grateful to the conference administration and you, the local leaders, and all our media partners and the entire communication team here at the conference and the local fields, as we build bridges of hope.
Just want to say thanks to all my team members, from our host, Andrew, all our hosts, all our local communication and tech personnel in the local churches. I want to say thanks to our media partners, Bless TV, under the guidance and leadership of Ernest Latti, NCU Media Group, Love FM. I want to say a big thanks to Elder Nigel Coke, our union communication director, and all the directors and tech team in the local conferences in Jamaica Union for their tremendous support and advice that they have given to us in this period under review. May God continue to bless each one of us and each one of the team members as we continue to build bridges of hope, sharing the gospel as God leads here in Central Jamaica Conference. Thank you for all the support, for all the members in local churches, my family, and everyone. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank you.
I'm sure that the delegates would have been pleased with the kind of work that was accomplished during the quadrennial. This time I will invite Elder Coke, the Communications Director of the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, to come and share words of commendation or perhaps observation. And after he would have shared, if there are other persons who wish to make a comment or share an observation, then we invite you to position yourselves at the mic, and you have maximum 2 minutes. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, delegates. I am here this afternoon to commend the team of communicators at the Central Jamaica Conference. When I look at the different changes that took place in this department over the quadrennium, I'd just like to thank Pastor Damian Chambers, Elder L. David Harris, and also now Elder Charles Bulgin, who has led over the past 4 years consistently and has done a good job. Yes, everyone was on the platform and online for the pandemic. Yes, we know Central Jamaica took a little time, but let me tell you, when they came good. And they're looking very good now with the programs. President, I particularly like CIA, that part of the program that is on Sabbath. And I just want to commend the team, associate to that Sister Kimali Medley, for her work too that she has done in this department. And all the others who you would have seen in the report, they looked like a team, and once they're a team, they will do well. Another good report that will make the bone fat. Thank you very much.
Coke, I am not seeing anyone at the mic. Okay, Elder Pastor Brian is coming.
Yeah, should I wait on you, Pastor?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, sir. I stand here this evening because I am associated. I know the type of work the communication department is doing at the office. I think they just gave a bird's eye view. And I stand here to support the department. I stand here to support my colleagues. They are doing exceptionally good. And I want to congratulate the Central Jamaica Conference's Communication Department. I want to thank you, Elder Charles Bulgin. And at one time, we were wondering what was happening. And I tell you, sir, I am getting calls I got a call from Ghana on Sabbath. They were watching Central Jamaica Conference. I got a call from Toronto. They were watching Central Jamaica Conference. Matter of fact, my friend called me from London. They were on Central Jamaica Conference. Today, I feel proud and ask that you and the team continue to do such a great work for the Savior.
All right, thank you so very much, Pastor Brian, Elder Cook. May God continue to prosper the work here of communication in the Central Jamaica Conference. Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Pastor Brian, Pastor Barnaby, and Charles. Well done. Commendation to you and the team, sir. Okay, we will invite at this time the women, children, and adolescent ministry. That is Sister Claudia Bailey. We're going to invite her. Pastor Watson, you're responsible. Go ahead.
Indeed, this afternoon, I am proud of the work in the Children and Women Ministries Department. We have a director who is dynamic, who is innovative and creative. And we have seen marvelous things over the past 4 years. I introduce to you none other than the one and only Claudia Latti Bailey.
As the psalmist would say, teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me. And I believe for the quadrennium, starting 2018 to this current year, 2022, the Lord led the Women, Children, and Adolescent Ministry departments. I have such a great support from the local churches and from committees that we have formed for these two departments. And I want you to look at these two short videos and see how the Holy Spirit have led women of all age, boys and girls, to lift up the trumpet, because that's what these two departments is all about, to do pursuits for God. They lifted up the trumpet during this past quadrennium and loud let it run that Jesus is coming again. I invite you to look at the video.
In the changing culture of these last days, there is the challenge of finding new ways of presenting God's unchanging message of peace and love. It is through prayers and the sharing of the scriptures that God's people will experience revival, resilience, unity, and growth. Our children and adolescents have brought to this ministry inventiveness and vigor, communication, education, and development. We were able to transmit artistically to the young minds knowledge of the nature and blessings of their Creator, and also prepare them to deport themselves appropriately in the church and the society. As we partnered with the Jamaica Union Conference on this annual program, we provided both soft and hard copies of lessons. Other resources for teachers were also made available via WhatsApp and our web page. Various churches and districts participated in the training of their boys and girls in social graces and spiritual formation,
Keeping our children safe in the internet age was a priority for us, and so a seminar was done on internet safety for our children and their parents. This was hosted by Elder L. David Harris, our former communication director for the conference. We were able to renew the concept of the mission as a way of life for every child and adolescent, Children Extravaganza in 2019 at Camp Burley. Some special features were the Say a Text Bible Bee Championship. The children and adolescents demonstrated their knowledge of the history of the church, basic doctrine, and Bible verses as they competed against each other. Various churches showcased the VBS themes from the previous quadrennium. Jamaica on the move. There was a display of an energetic audience as they did the exercise routines. CJC Got Talent. The children enjoyed themselves as they displayed various aptitudes for poetry, singing, and drama. Health food preparation demonstration and sampling. Virtual Fun Day held in the summer after school was closed to release our children from school stress. Over 100 children and adolescents were online to play Bible quiz, Pictionary, church scavenger hunt, and many more. This was hosted by Sister Crystal Blake and Sister Shanna K. Hall. Comprehensive Health Ministries. We were able to strengthen the concept and awareness of health and to restore attractiveness in healthcare for the children and adolescents. As a result, the New Start Lifestyle program for children was established and introduced through Vacation Bible School. Children and adolescents in the church and communities became aware of the 8 laws of health and the benefits of observing them. Preaching, teaching, and discipling. Using this strategic objective, we were able to assist the children to know the grace, forgiveness, and love of Jesus, as well as teach children how to gain other children's attention, hold their interest, and win them to Christ. Vacation Bible School is one of the most widespread evangelism programs for children in the communities. Walking with Jesus was the theme for an evangelistic program in 2020, where children and adolescents from the 3 parishes participated. 10 child preachers preached, along with their pastors accommodating them. A puppet corner was introduced that became a major feature within the program. To God be the glory. From the program, 28 persons were baptized. Keep Walking with Jesus was a follow-up evangelistic program from the previous year for 2021, which was eventually postponed due to a COVID lockdown. Mothers came together to pray for their children and adolescents, especially at-risk children. The district and church conventions were intentionally arranged to include more children and adolescents as participants, for them to create memories and to build relationships with each other in their respective churches. Week of Prayer was conducted each year, and during the allotted time, many children gave their little hearts to Jesus. We were able to encourage ministry leaders to create adaptable worshipful programs and outreach evangelism. In the closing scenes of Earth's history, many of these children and youth will astonish people by their witness to the truth, which will be born in simplicity, yet with spirit and power. In a world where there are different stories to be told and heard, women are among the best narratives for all the world to read. She can alter age-old stereotypes, break down the ancient walls of hatred and bitterness, as well as mold a better world with love and righteousness. Communication, education, and development. Through this strategic objective, we created and conducted in-reach and outreach programs and encouraged the younger women in our churches to become mission-driven. Hence, we prepared PowerPoint presentations for the Train the Trainers program, launched GEMS, G-E-M-S, Girls of Elegance and Moral Standards, and created
Just going to pause and take the report at this time, and then we'll get back to the report. Thank you.
God has been so good to us. We trust and hope that you have been blessed by the number of reports that have been coming through from the different departments as we continue to take care of God's business here at the 6th Quadrennial session that's being held right here at Camp Verley in St. Catherine. We know that a number of persons, a number of you have been joining us. You have been with us since morning. And I think when we checked in with the chat earlier today, and Joey, we had a number of persons from outside of Jamaica. I recall you sharing that we had brothers and sisters from Canada, from Florida, and perhaps there are others from elsewhere as well. We never got a chance to say that very special hello to you earlier today. So we want to say, if you're still with us, that we are happy that you're here, and we are so thankful that you've joined us. So much has happened. A number of the reports have been taken. I think the last one, and Joey, the one that we watched just now, came out of the communication department. And we have a number of others that will be coming as the afternoon progresses. We had a... Yes. Yes. Oh, that one. I missed that one. I missed that one. And that's a very, very important department in the conference, given what it focuses on. The directors at that time focused on all the things that they would have accomplished, the challenges and the victories of the last 4 to 5 years. And of course, brothers and sisters, you know that we are still awaiting the announcement for the president and other administrators. So that is still to come, and Joey. The program continues tomorrow. We're not done yet, certainly, but just to let you know that the program continues tomorrow as we continue to take care of the Lord's business. So there is a whole lot more to come out of this session. The delegates have been on the floor after the different reports, and they have been asking questions questions that would have emanated from these reports to ensure that the business of the church is in fact happening. And Joey. Alrighty, so there is a report that's to come from, let me just go to that to make sure that I'm sharing with you. Yes, I believe the Department of Education is also going to be sharing its report. Of course, all of this will take place only if we have time, because we are running a little bit behind time, but we're not to be daunted because we know that the nominating committee is meeting and is doing its business. We are also going to be hearing from the ministerial department, and that is the department that pastors the pastors. So also a very critical department. Personal ministries is also slated to happen this afternoon and publishing. So, no. What am I reading? Am I reading tomorrow's? No, I am reading the correct thing. Yes. So a number of these departments, including youth and trust and stewardship, are scheduled to be aired today. But of course, if time does not permit, then I'm sure that the organizers will ensure that they run into tomorrow. But while all of that is happening and while we're sharing with you, we just want you to know that the session is very much in function, for want of a better term. The nominating committee is meeting, and the most essential business that we have come here for, which is the voting of our officers, particularly our president and his administrative team, the treasurer, and also the exec secretary, that is taking place. And we are not sure at what point we will get these reports, and Joey, not so sure. But we can assure you that once we get that report or any other report out of the nomination committee, then you will be the first to know as we share what is happening here. We invite you to continue to pray for this program as God continues to lead. As we wait on the program, there is much that we can say about what the session is all about, and Joey, about what the delegates do. We cannot say much about what the delegates are thinking, of course, but just in case you were wondering, and perhaps just in case it wasn't said this morning, each church has a certain quota of delegates. The number of delegates that the church has will be dependent on, I'm referring to Aunt Joey because, Aunt Joey is always here with me, but that's fine. All right? And I know she will join me shortly. But just to continue sharing with you a little bit about what the session is all about in terms of the delegates and their job, just in case we hadn't gotten a chance to share that with you this morning, and just in case you're wondering, each church has a certain number of delegates, and the number of delegates the church has will of course be dependent on the number of members. Of course, the churches smaller will have one or two delegates, and those that are larger will have a larger number of delegates as we continue this very democratic process. And the delegates, of course, outside of the face of everybody else, will nominate and vote for the persons who will be the officers of the church for the next few years. And when I mention of, being outside of everybody else, what I mean is that it's not done at the forefront. Obviously, there's some privacy, and they will do that in a private area. And then those reports are taken and those are shared with members of the public. Just as our churches at the local level would operate in nominating its own members, each delegate is allowed to stay on the floor for 2 minutes to ask questions. So after the reports, when there is that summary of what would have happened over the last few years, the delegate stays on the floor and the delegate is allowed to speak for perhaps to ask questions and to make a comment or two for 2 minutes. Of course, that can be extended if it is that the person leading out from the floor wishes to extend that time, but that is generally what happens. The delegates have been sent here by you, the members of our churches on the outside, to represent your cause, to ask questions on your behalf as they seek to share what it is that is happening. I believe I'm being joined by Anjoey.
Yes, you are.
Yes, Anjoey, go ahead.
Yes,
Please
Roma, I
share.
heard you sharing a little earlier as well. There was somebody that we said that we wanted to highlight. We saw that we had someone from Scotland with us earlier, and the person had indicated at the time that they were watching from Scotland, and the time was 6:20 p.m. GMT.
At that time.
At that time, yes. And we also had someone, Joel Nemard. He said he was watching from Toronto, Canada. So if you're on with us, we'd love for you to let us know where you are watching us from.
That's right.
Wherever you are in the world, we want to know where you are.
I love that. I love that. There are about 500, just under 500 delegates.
Yes.
I was told, I think you shared it also this morning, Anjoey. And I know those delegates will be happy to know that the business that they are taking care of is actually being shared with brothers and sisters across the world, because it is a democratic process.
Definitely.
Anjoey, the challenge. I won't say much about the challenge except to say that we want you to keep listening, keep looking in the chat for those questions. We saw you a little earlier. We saw that there were persons who were answering the questions, and we want you to know that the challenge is alive and well.
All right, so we are throwing now, Roma, we're going back rather to the stage. We're going to be hearing the Women's Ministries report.
She can alter age-old stereotypes, break down the ancient walls of hatred and bitterness, as well as mold a better world with love and righteousness. Communication, education, and development. Through this strategic objective, we created and conducted in-reach and outreach programs and encouraged the younger women in our churches to become mission-driven. Hence, we prepared PowerPoint presentations for the Train the Trainers program, launched GEMS, G-E-M-S, Girls of Elegance and Moral Standards, and created motivational e-banners for the department's initiatives webpage and social media. Preaching, teaching, and discipling. Operation Huldah is the annual evangelistic program for women. Each women's ministry's leader engaged resourceful women in integrated and holistic evangelism. From 2019 to 2021, the program garnered approximately 120 precious souls as the women conducted health seminars and Bible studies and preached the good news that Jesus is coming again. At our convention on April 13, 2019, captioned Beyond the Veil, 2 programs were launched. Phoebe, an initiative for young women between ages 18 to 35, who were encouraged and empowered to become more active in the mission of the church. The Purple Door, an evangelistic arm of the ministry, specifically for the Phoebes. The Purple Door is a platform where the Phoebes can express themselves on spiritual and social issues, while encouraging ladies within their age group to seek Christ. 13 episodes of the Purple Door podcast was produced and aired in 2019. On October 23 to 24, 2020, we hosted our first virtual convention, which was conducted by our female pastor, Latoya Smythe-Forbes, from the Asia District of Churches in Manchester. Our theme was Magnify the Lord. On October 16, 2021, 2 other groups were officially launched at the annual convention, captioned, I Will Go and Praise My King. The groups were named Abigail and Lydia. Abigail is for women of ages 36 to 49 years. These women are considered the fast-track arm of the ministry. They are the heartbeat or pulse of the church and can be found working in all areas in the mission of Christ. Abigail's mantra is, serve with courage and grace. While the Lydia group is for women aged 50 years and over, their goal is to leave a residuary legacy for the younger women. Hence, they plan various training programs to impact both church and community women of all ages. An evangelistic series under the theme Proclaim was deemed necessary as the culmination of Operation Huldah conducted by the Phoebes, proclaiming the gospel of salvation through drama, music, and the preaching of the word. The daily and nightly program. Therefore, the department partnered with governmental and private sector agencies to impact the communities through vocation, health, educational services, and engaging our students with study marathons and hosting a children corner. Committed to serving humanity, we were able to renew spiritual and social interaction between women across the constituency through our retreats and other wholesome activities for all women. Our first women's retreat for the Quadrennial was held at the Holiday Inn St. James in October 2018 with speaker Mrs. Patrice Williams Gordon, inspired by the theme, What If? The first weekend of October 2019 will be remembered by our women as they gathered for another annual retreat held under the theme, Reshaping My Story. The women were renewed spiritually as they asked their Savior to break, melt, mold, and fill them with His holy influence. Care packages were distributed in 3 volatile areas in the parish of St. Catherine. Let's Talk COVID was an online program conducted by Dr. Lorraine Vernal, Women's Ministries Director of the Jamaica Union Conference, on May 7, 2020, with our women to help us better understand this pandemic, whereas it was a new disease and much information and emotional support was necessary. Another important emphasis was that the lives of every Christian should be balanced with social activities. This was demonstrated in Saturday night socials as our women interacted with each other. The retreat ended with an early morning prayer walk where the women prayed, sang, and testified of God's greatness. The Women's Ministries Department in each church partnered with other departments to impact members and their communities in awareness and prevention of abuse through the End It Now initiative of Health Ministries. A 5K run walk was held on March 8, 2020, encouraging a healthy lifestyle for females and their families in the Portmore area. The women, including the Phoebes, distributed 500 care packages to 4 hospitals and 6 clinics in the parishes of St. Catherine, Clarendon, and Manchester. Their stories are being told. Their narratives are being read. Women of all age groups will continue to write the love of Jesus on hearts throughout Central Jamaica Conference and beyond our borders.
First, I want to say thank you, Jesus, for leading the Women, Children, and Adolescent Ministry Department through His Holy Spirit. I want to say thanks to the administrators for their support with all the initiatives that we had. And then I cannot forget our past president, Pastor Levi Johnson, who challenged me that whatever I do, I stick with the strategic imperatives of the conference. I want to also thank Crystal Blake and Lisette Martin, the admin assistants to these 2 departments. also, how can I forget the stalwart women of God in the churches, on the committees, and also the communication department that stand behind these two departments. I also want to thank especially just one male that stands with the Children and Adolescent Ministries Department, Brother Devon Small. Yes, the only male in my committee. And I also want to thank you all, and may God bless you.
Just speaking, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of terms, but Sister Bailey is saying that she has done enough for children and women in Central Jamaica Conference and is going into retirement. But she says she will be still on the evangelism path. My President will say more about that at another time. But at this time, we'll call on Mrs. Vernal, the Women, Children, and Adult Ministries leader from the Jamaica Union, to make her comments on the report. And after her, the floor will be open for any comments or question that you'd want to make.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is with mixed feelings that I come to make comments, because for those who know us, from we got connected when she was selected to serve in these departments, we have been working together right through. And I must join all those who are saying kudos, congratulations, a work well done. And Sister Bailey and her team has left a legacy that all we need to do is to continue it as we seek to minister to the various groups within women's ministries, and we continue to help to nurture our children and adolescents for Christ. I can speak to the reality of the events, because most of the events I gave support, the union gave support. And I can say from the union standpoint, any event we had, Sister Bailey and her team, they were there to give support. And we hope that this will serve as a model. You would not see everything. And even when I did my report, many of my activities came from things done in the various conferences, and Central was featured because you're always. So I join her in saying thanks to leaders, administrators of the conference, the directors who collaborated with her, the steering committee, pastors. Many of you were always involved. And I must tell you, pastors, it's always awesome when I go to a church and see our pastor and the men and boys giving women's ministries support. It says something, it makes a difference. And women, we do the same. We reciprocate by giving support. We don't bash our men. Women's ministries need to work beside and along with our men so that we can prepare for God's kingdom. And so I'm happy to have worked with her. We look forward to whoever we will have to work with. And that's the attitude we have. We work with whoever God appoints. And so thank you, everyone. Thank you for the various churches for your dedication. And we saw that we didn't fall off because of COVID. We adjusted and adapted, and we were still able to have our mission and see individuals come to Christ through the various ministries. So thank you for your love and support, and we anticipate that you will continue to give us such support.
Yes, thank you. Anybody wants to comment, you can go to the mic. We have little time, but we are not seeing anybody coming to the mic, so I turn over to the chairman, Pastor Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss of me not to say something here. Sister Bailey is an outstanding servant of God. One who has given quality service to God, to his church, and the ministry here in Central Jamaica Conference. I came into the work in 1996. I met this lady. She was very passionate about evangelism. I want you to know that she still has that passion. I worked with her as a pastor in the Portmore area, and together we're able to lead many souls to the kingdom of God. Whatever she decides to do, she put her all into it. And she autographed it with that level of professionalism. It was a joy working with her in evangelism. She served the conference as a Bible instructor. She served the conference as a prayer ministry coordinator and Bible school coordinator, and then women ministry and children ministry director. And she has given outstanding service in these areas. And look at her now. But she said she's retiring. She has a lot more into her to give. But we're happy, Sister Bailey. Central Jamaica Conference is no longer the same as a result of your impact in Central Jamaica Conference. We know that you're going to enjoy your retirement, and we know that it is in you, so you're still going to do evangelism. Even if she doesn't do women ministry anymore, she's going to do evangelism. I can tell you that. Count on me. But we love you. We're going to miss you. And you're not going anywhere. You're staying with us. But be that as it may, enjoy your retirement. And may God bless you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to invite the We Have Health Ministry. We're going to invite our director, and it's Pastor Barnaby again, coordinating health, to come forward at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is my joy to introduce to us one who would have given sterling service in the area of health ministries here in the Central Jamaica Conference, one who is passionate about the welfare and the well-being of our members, one who would have worked hard to ensure that the health of the membership here in the Central Jamaica Conference improve. We're talking about one who takes health ministries very seriously, Sister Diane Henry. At this time, delegates, we invite you to put your hands together as we welcome the Health Ministries Director of the Central Jamaica Conference, Sister Diane Henry.
Thank you, Pastor Barnaby. Good afternoon, delegates. I want to this afternoon say a special thank you to every delegate, every member, for your role in the promotion and protection of health in our constituency. I am going to invite you at this time to view a video report on the highlights of our stewardship over the period. and thereafter I will come back.
The Health Ministries Department of Central Jamaica Conference seeks to provide education, training, and resource personnel to equip our members and friends of our communities to make positive behavior change and enjoy quality health and longevity.
To establish community-based training on the laws of health through regular health expos, the department coordinated and supported 25 conference-led health expos, which impacted the lives of people in churches, schools, and communities. An estimated 3,500 persons were exposed to the health message and equipped to prepare plant-based meals. They also mobilized pastors and laity to create 130 sustainable outreach projects, of which 70% were related to health evangelism. Community transformation through wellness and prayer was an umbrella for a series of programs and activities, namely opening of Life Hope Center Mandeville, Health Expo for adults and a branch Sabbath school, prayer walkthrough, and an evening of prayer and praise. The first Children's Expo was coordinated and now serves as a model for other such expos. The Homestead community was primarily targeted to become more healthy, self-sufficient, and sustainable in their approach to life. However, the impact was far-reaching to several other surrounding communities as far as Brunswick Avenue. An online dementia support group was launched under the theme Caregivers Helping Caregivers on January 23, 2022 in response to the needs of caregivers of persons living with dementia. 23 persons were in attendance via Zoom. Pre-launched activities included promotional flyer and video, fact sheet, interviews with a director, mental health specialist, and caregiver, which culminated in a program for Lifeline. Mental health experts affiliated with the program are Dr. Jasnet Williams and Dr. Michelle Lewin. Having established wellness programs for conference workers to care for them and their families, the department presented approximately 20 health-related presentations to staff, primarily in devotional settings. Coordinated 3 Ministry of Food Potluck Mondays for workers. These potluck-style breakfasts included a wide variety of plant-based foods. Mobilized medical missionaries and health promoters to offer stress-relieving massages to teachers, pastors, and office staff on scheduled meetings at the Willerding Group of Schools and CJC headquarters. Provided year-round first aid, health screening, and counseling services to staff. Conducted back-to-school health clinic for students at the H.S. Walters Health Center during the Health Summit weekend. We saw over 50 persons, mostly children. 3 doctors, 5 nurses, and medical missionaries assisted. Provided first aid and health emergency services at major conference events. Conducted 5K run walk in partnership with the Spanish Town SDA Skills Training Center at the G.C. Foster College. The reach was 75 persons, including pastors, office staff, and members of churches and communities. They experienced increased levels of physical activity and were motivated to move more. The department conducted social media campaigns to promote awareness during National Awareness Days that focused on health topics. We commemorated Addiction Awareness Week 2021 with 2 worship services on the CJC prayer platform and the conference platform House of Prayer Experience. Members of the constituency were educated and equipped to make behavior change. International Nurses Week was observed May 12, 2021. Commendations were expressed to all our nurses and a site visit was made to the H.S. Walters Health Center to demonstrate our appreciation to our nurses. To position Hiram S. Walters Health Center as a community health and wellness service facility, we mobilized health professionals and non-medical persons to participate in a community walkthrough in communities surrounding the health center on Health Professional Sabbath held at the St. John's Church. Distributed promotional materials during promotional visits to churches and other conference-led events such as health expos. Researched, prepared, and disseminated a fact sheet and brochure on the center aimed at promoting the center. Provided background information to graphic designer to make 3 banners on the late H.S. Walters. 1 is dispatched to the health center, Willerding Group of Schools, and the lobby of the office. participated in the production of promotional video on the health center, which was aired as a feature for Church in Action CIA on the online church platform. The department coordinated 2 stagings of the annual Health Summit and Lecture Series during this quadrennium. The objectives of the lecture series are to reflect on the work of our first conference president, Hiram S. Walters, highlight the services of our health center, and to create a forum for annual health lectures and education. The theme for both years were the Healing Ministry of Jesus and Holistic Health for Personal and National Transformation, with an overall reach of 1,000. We also implemented monthly Your Health and You programs to encourage members to adopt healthy lifestyle habits. Other activities included partnership with the Mandeville SDA Church and the Regional Hospital to pave the way for the delivery of outpatient services from the Mandeville Church Hall. On a weekly basis, hundreds of persons are now exposed to our health message, products including books, literature, and food, as well as services of the Life Hope Center. Spalding SDA Church donated approximately $300,000 of medical equipment and supplies to the Percy Junior Hospital to assist with the management of COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, Hayes SDA Church partnered with the Clarendon Health Services to offer a one-off COVID-19 vaccination site for neighboring communities. The department achieved this objective by providing sermons and other resources for Health Emphasis Day, relaunching the I Want to Live Healthy program August 2021, coordinating a worship service on the conference online platform. Speakers were Drs. Joan Lamley and Dudley Hosing. It was attended by 500 persons. Collaborating with the technical team to produce a short promotional video on the 8 healthy habits. Launching a I Want to Be Healthy challenge in one church, and obtaining videos and still pictures to enhance promotional activities in the conference. Health sermons were prepared and delivered in 20 churches via hybrid of face-to-face and online platforms, namely Orangefield Health Services with Pastors Sean Williams and Damian Chambers, May 2019, and Go for a Healthier Me Health Seminar with Mrs. Dion Bent Henry, February 20 to 28, 2021. 25 precious souls were won for the kingdom. We also partnered with the Family Ministries Department for its All About Relationship, Health and Family Evangelistic Series with Pastor Dolphy Cross and Dr. Errol Bryce, March 20 to April 3, 2021. Approximately 330 souls were rescued for the kingdom, and many more were motivated to embrace the health and family life messages. Winning Your Health Bible Seminar with Dr. Dudley Hosing was a collaborative effort of CJC and JAMU Health Ministries Department, scheduled for April 3 to 16, 2022. Pre-reaping activities included prayer and fasting services, community-based health expo, field Bible work, capacity building in hydrotherapy, and an online production of the Healthy and Happy Bible lessons. 100 persons were baptized. To promote Adventism in diverse settings, health education and wellness promotions, the director presented over 146 health education sessions and wellness promotions in a variety of settings, including churches, schools, workplaces, and communities. The reach has been far-reaching to include a combination of face-to-face 116 and online audience 23. Health professionals and medical missionaries were also mobilized to provide health education sessions. The Adventist Health Professional Association AHPA CJC chapter was relaunched in July 2018 but soon became inactive. Dr. George Grandison of the Denby Church will be installed soon as the president. Morning Dew Ministry, a sub-ministry of the Life Hope Center, an online ministry of compassion and care, was launched in October of 2020. It is coordinated by a committed team of members under the leadership of Sister Sharon King from the Mandeville Church. It provides comfort and cheer to those who are grieving the loss of a loved one, affected by loneliness or depression, or simply celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or any other achievement. Prayers are offered daily. The reach is just over 200. As a response to the increased demand for mental health services triggered by the COVID-19 global pandemic, free and confidential services were provided to 100 persons from our constituency and beyond. Services were initially provided by a clinical psychologist, Dr. Michelle Lewin, counseling psychologist, Pastor Roy Dennis, and an assistant counselor, Mrs. Sharon Allen Williams. Health interviews and screening for blood pressure and blood sugar was conducted for families in the Huckabee and McCoy Gardens communities. Prayers were also offered. A partnership with Comprehensive Eye Care also resulted in the free eye screening for 23 persons in these communities. A total of 312 members were trained and certified via online and face-to-face programs. The first of 2 batches of training were conducted by Pastor Damien Chambers, a 1-month comprehensive health ministries training by LIGHT, Lay Institute for Global Health Training at the CJC office, April 2018. Over 120 persons participated, with 82 receiving certificates of completion. Coordinated the training and certification of 115 members across 95 churches as health promoters using an IAD-approved curriculum, July to August 2020. Additionally, churches were mobilized to build the capacity of its membership. Greater Portmore Church, 25 persons trained and certified. The Helsha Church, 35 health promoters trained and certified. Diamond Acres Church, 15 members trained and certified as health promoters. Presented on 3 topics and provided resource materials. Dr. Joan Lamley coordinated gospel medical missionary training and certification of approximately 1,115 persons locally and internationally. In June of 2020, the director and 4 other departmental directors received training and certification as a paraprofessional in mental health through the sponsorship of Jamaica Union Health Ministries. Thereafter, the department collaborated with the Department of Graduate Studies at Northern Caribbean University to offer an online paraprofessional mental health training. 25 members were trained and certified and added to the cadre of lay persons who are responding to the needs of vulnerable persons in our churches and communities. On March 10, 2020, the first case of the deadly COVID-19 virus was reported in Jamaica. The conference shortly became the epicenter for the virus, resulting in disruptions in the lives of members and the communities we serve. To address this, we did the following. Collaborated on the compilation of the COVID-19 protocols for church and institutions, shared COVID-19 information from the WHO and Ministry of Health and Wellness and other credible sources to the constituency. Educated the constituency on the COVID-19 virus and how to protect themselves using a variety of media. Conducted training for auxiliary staff at the Williding Group of Schools and the office on how to implement COVID-19 protocols in their work setting. Recommended Dr. Joan Lamley, Medical Missionary and Health Advisory and Health Board member, as the support for the department during the COVID-19 crisis. She has further mobilized individuals and groups to offer home-based care and provide COVID-19 treatment kits to many vulnerable persons. Quarterly Health Seminar Hydrotherapy 2.0. This face-to-face training is the first in the series to be held using a hybrid approach with the aim of building capacity for mission. Program content included a review of basic hydrotherapy principles, hydrotherapy treatment procedures. It was attended by 25 persons on site and another 54 on the YouTube platform. Presenters included Dr. Michelle Hamilton, Mrs. Dion Bent Henry, Dr. Joan Lamley, Elder Joseph Monroe, and Miss Davina Gale. Health Ministries is called upon to serve the constituency at a time when there is a coexistence of communicable and non-communicable diseases. We are not daunted because the Bible, spirit of prophecy, and evidence information have long been available to lead people into healthy lifestyle.
We will provide the resources to increase awareness and skill building until our church and the communities that we serve begin to embrace the health message and also to enjoy better quality physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
You will agree with me that health is holistic, and so is the team. And so there are a number of persons who are groups that I would like to express sincere thanks to. And first, I'm giving God thanks for his continued blessing on this ministry, which continues to open doors for the gospel ministry. I am grateful for administrators who are visionary and who have supported health as a ministry. And I'm also grateful for supportive directors. And at this time, I want to include my own director from Jamaica Union Conference, Dr. Dudley Hussein. We now call him our health evangelist. Special thanks to our pastors and elders, our health advisory, parish health coordinators, zone health coordinators, medical missionaries, health promoters, health professionals and paraprofessionals, friends of health ministries, locally and internationally, partners in government and non-government organizations. Thank you all for embracing health and supporting health. I want to pause at this time to express special thanks to Pastor Damian Chambers. He started the Quadrennium in 2018 and moved on to Northern Caribbean University, but not before the executive committee asked our outgoing president, Pastor Levi Johnson, to take the baton. And then that was handed to me in January of 2020. COVID-19 was a threat, but it also provided many opportunities for health ministries. And as I close, I just would like to borrow two phrases. Health is everybody's business. May God continue to bless all of us as we embrace health in a meaningful way, especially the slogan, your health, my health, is your responsibility, my responsibility.
Thank you, Sister Dean Henry. We give God thanks for another excellent report. Amen. At this time, we'll be joined by the Health Director of the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists via Zoom, Dr. Dudley Hussein. And he will now give words of commendation to Director Henry. All right, I await. All right, at this time, we will invite Pastor Dean Fletcher from the Jamaica Union Conference to represent Pastor Dr. Dudley Hussein.
Thank you very much, Pastor Barnaby. I am in no wise worthy to stand in the stead of Dr. Dudley Hussein. Nevertheless, as we sat as team from the Jamaica Union Conference office, we were pleased with the report, and we commend Pastor Damian Chambers, who started, and to you, Sister Dion Ben Henry, for the marvelous job that you continued to do. It was noted that training was an integral arm of what you did. Additionally, you positively impacted the community through health ministries. And what is even more joyful is that many souls were led to the Lord through health ministries. We pray God's continued blessing on you, health ministries, and the Central Jamaica Conference as we continue to build up the kingdom.
Thank you, Pastor Fletcher.
Thank you, Pastor Fletcher. At this time, the floor is open for further comments and observation. Please feel free to access any one of those mics that are strategically positioned or placed to facilitate your comment. All right. I am not seeing anyone moving towards the mic. Thank you, Sister Diane Henry. And again, may the Lord continue to bless and prosper your ministry. And just remember, delegates, your health is your wealth. Put your hands together for another excellent report from the health ministries. Mr. Chairman.
Leadership to Health Ministry Department during the period under review, and of course Pastor Chambers for his support as well. We pray God's blessing upon you as we continue to do the work of the Lord. I see the President, so let me.
Delegates, the nominating committee is ready for its first report. We met and we have asked Mr. Brendan Coleman, who could very well be the youngest member of the nominating committee, to serve as the secretary of the nominating committee. And he has a report. Before you read it. He has a report, and I'm going to ask him now to read the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee has met, and after careful consideration, the recommended name for President of the Central Jamaica Conference for 2022 through to 2026 is Pastor Neville Barrett. And by virtue of your response, I so move, Mr. Chair, that we accept the recommendation as is made by the committee.
It has been moved. And is there a second? I see no one moving to the mic. And so we are ready for the vote. Those who are in favor, could you raise your white card? Thank you. Those opposed by your blue cards is carried. Brother President. Heartiest congratulations to you, Brother President, on behalf of my wife and family, to you and your dear wife and daughter. We believe that the Spirit of God led here today. And we believe that as you continue to humble yourself before Him, He will use you to His name's honor and glory to fulfill the mission that He has called us to do in the Central Jamaica Conference. God bless you. Congratulations. I'm going to invite Sister Barrett to come forward.
Brothers and sisters, you may have heard the good news already, but just in case you missed it, we want to reiterate for you what has happened. Pastor Neville Barrett has been elected as president of Central Jamaica Conference. And this, even though Pastor Barrett served for a short time after the former president, Pastor Levi Johnson, demitted office, he went to serve at the union. This is the first time that Pastor Barrett is receiving his own mandate, and I'm sure that he is so pleased. That announcement was just made, brothers and sisters, by the secretary of the nominating committee, our brother Brendan Coleman.
And Pastor Bart will be serving for the years 2022 to 2026. We congratulate him and his family as they serve in this capacity for the next 4 years.
That's right. And on the screen right now, you are seeing Pastor Barrett, who is joined by his beautiful wife, Sister Carleen Barrett, and our union president, Pastor Everett Brown, and his wife. They are now taking a photo capturing the moment, and Joey, when Neville Barrett, a man who served as executive secretary prior to his taking up the office of president it was late last year, I'm trying to recall, about October, November, thereabout. It was a fairly short period of time, sometime closer to the end of the year, when he was asked to step into that post in a temporary way. Until today, we can no longer say it is temporary rather, but he has been given his own mandate and has stepped into the post in a powerful way.
Yes, we also saw that he was joined by a vice president from the Inter-American Division, that's Pastor Al Powell, as well as Dr. Merrick Walker.
Yes.
For another photo opportunity. And heartiest congratulations again to Pastor Neville Barrett. I am seeing in the comment section of CJC's YouTube channel, Eulalie Green saying congratulations, Pastor Barrett. We're going back.
Thank you very much, Pastor Brown. Thank you. First, I want to thank God for this opportunity, for having chosen me to provide leadership to His church at such a time as this. I am humbled by this assignment, and I humbly accept this responsibility. I want to say thanks to the committee for your assent and the fact that you allow the Lord to work through you to carry out this assignment. I'm happy for the opportunity to serve the Lord and serve the people at Central Jamaica Conference at this time. Moving forward, I am committed to give of my best in service to God and to His people. And I'm cognizant of the fact that it's not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit of God. And so I will dedicate myself to God, to study of His Word, to fasting and prayer, that the Spirit of God will rest upon me as I provide leadership to His people. It's not a one-man band. It's a team effort. Just as though we are here today, we're going to work together as a team to carry forward the mission in Central Jamaica Conference. Thank you very much. Keep us in your prayers. My dear wife, Carlene, our daughter, Cavale. We're committed to God. We're committed to the mission. By the grace of God, we'll give of our best. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother President. Well, your work has begun, and so I'm going to invite you to meet with your nominating committee as we find out exactly the team that you would love to ask God to give to you to serve His church. Thank you.
As a result, I will now ask Pastor Grant, my secretary, to continue chairing the meeting.
Or President of the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Pastor Neville Barrett, has made a commitment to serve God and the church. He has also pledged to fast and pray and has called for the church to be working as a team in order to continue the work of God as we move forward from strength to strength. All right, so we're going back to the stage, and let's see what's happening there.
We're going to be taking the Family Ministries department at this time. The person who's asked to chair that department, please come, and our director is here. So, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The privilege is mine to introduce to us the Director for Family Ministries, Dr. Clifton Knight, and to hear more about a ministry that has touched so many lives and so many homes. Dr. Knight.
Mrs. Henry, and thank you very much to the delegation here this afternoon. You have been here from morning, you have listened to some very good reports, and I believe this one will be no exception. If there is one thing that the devil hates to see, is a happy family. He will go to the ends of the earth and use any means to dismantle destroy and scatter the family. He will use the children. He may use a wife or a husband, a neighbor, a co-worker, or even a fake friend. I say to every mother, weep for your children. Weep for your children. Pray to the fathers. Pray daily for your children like Job. To the adults, fight for your family. My wife would say, the devil is a stalker. He is stalking every family represented here. As a matter of fact, he has surveillance over every family. And each family is marked for destruction. My wife would say, the stalker. But Peter, the Apostle Peter, described this stalker as a roaring lion seeking to destroy every family. But I'm recommending to you this afternoon that you place your family in the hand of one who is not a roaring lion, but a conquering lion. You place your family in his hand, then your family will be safe. 6 months ago, Pastor Dr. Roy Dennis was called to the union to continue the good work that he began here in Central Jamaica Conference. The baton was passed on to me to finish the task. I'm here to say to you this afternoon with confidence that the job has been accomplished. I'm going to ask you to sit back and watch on the screen as the report is presented to you.
The continued decline in happy, stable families around the world is of deep concern to the Family Ministries Department. In keeping with the guidelines of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, the approach to family ministries includes family life education, enrichment, and counseling. To support the strategic objectives of the Central Jamaica Conference, the department focused on 6 supporting ministries: couples ministries, singles ministries, mentorship ministries, parenting ministries, senior citizens ministries, and professional counseling ministries. For the quadrennium in review, we used the theme Biblical Foundations for Family Living, with the sub-themes Basic Family Values Restored for 2019, Basic Family Values Perpetuated for 2020, Mentoring Minds for Eternity for 2021, and Home, Center of Love and Worship for 2022. The Family Ministries Director visited most of the districts throughout the conference and emphasized the importance of regular family worship. A new resource for families became available in 2020 when Dr. Roy Dennis, Director of Family Ministries at the CJC, completed and published the Issues in the Home Bible Study Guides. This study guide has a total of 7 lessons which look at varying issues that affect our families and links them with lessons from the Bible. Another action step was the promotion of communication, education, and development. Here we had 3 goals. 1. To utilize all available communication media to enhance planning, camaraderie, development, nurturing, witnessing, and worship. 2. Provide necessary training and resources for church officers. And 3. Integration of all departments for soul-winning activities. Through the radio program Lifeline, we far exceeded our goal of 16 programs. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Zoom was added to our arsenal and more than 40 programs were conducted with conferences both locally and internationally, along with other non-Seventh-day Adventist institutions. The department ensured that all relevant resources, such as sermons and seminars, were made available to our members using the CJC website as well as in hard and digital formats. On Sunday, May 20, 2018, we hosted the Domestic Abuse Violence Prevention Summit in association with the Human Resource Department. Dr. Roy Dennis, Elder Carol Palmer, who is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice, and Mrs. Venice Ferguson Roberts were the presenters. This event was held at the Willardine Group of Schools Auditorium. From Sunday, April 7 to Sunday, April 28, 2019, the Family Life Educator Certification FLEC program was held in St. Catherine, where 84 individuals were certified as Family Life Educators.
We regard ourselves as a big family, so I'm very happy that I can go back and report that it was wall-to-wall turnout as we are looking at certifying our family life educators, and it's wonderful what is happening here in Central, but we would have wasted today and the other days that you're going to be here if you take it and carry it back and put it in the basement.
26 of those trained are actively practicing across the conference. The program was not held in 2020 or 2021 due to constraints imposed by COVID-19 containment measures. On the weekend of Friday, May 31 to Sunday, June 2, 2019, the couples retreat was held at the Holiday Inn Sunsbury Resort in Montego Bay with Dr. and Mrs. Martin Borough presenting. 54 couples attended. From Sunday, June 19 to Sunday, February 23, 2020, CJC held Convention 2020, where the issue of domestic violence was addressed.
That's the society that we live in. I remember somebody asked me, they said, there's a young lady in my community, they said, Pastor, speak to this young lady because she feels that if she don't fling big stone and quarrel, people won't listen to her. And I went to her and said, you're a nice young lady. Why do you have to do this? She said, Pastor, if I don't do this, people won't listen to me. But do you believe that people can listen to you without you flinging big stone and fighting and behaving bad?
Dr. Roy Dennis made presentations on the topic at 4 of the 6 sittings of this event. For the week of Sabbath August 1 to Sabbath August 15, 2020, at the request of the administration, Dr. Dennis hosted 3 Issues Unveiled Bible Study series which looked at the following topics: Remnant, dealing with disharmony in the church, Biblical and Ecclesiastical Perspective on Church Discipline, and Biblical and Ecclesiastical Perspectives on Divorce and Remarriage. On Sabbath, September 5, 2020, in keeping with COVID-19 restrictions, our department hosted its first online Parenting and Child Abuse Prevention Convention with presentations by Dr. Dolphy Cross from the Southeastern Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Dr. Janice Stewart, Director of the Community Counseling and Restorative Justice Center in Mandeville, Mrs. Venice Roberts, Director of the Rio Cobre Children's Correctional Facilities, and Dr. Michael Harvey, Senior Pastor at the Maranatha District of Seventh-day Adventist Churches.
I have no doubt, Dr. Dennis, that the information shared throughout the day will empower parents to evaluate their own parenting skills and make the necessary adjustments to be better parents.
The conference's Zoom account was used and the program was streamed to our various platforms. During the period Sunday, September 13 to Sunday, October 11, 2020, a couples enrichment program captioned From This Day Forward was introduced. The program, held on Sundays with material provided by Dr. and Mrs. Willie Oliver through the General Conference, drew over 200 registrants. This program was hosted by Dr. Roy and Mrs. Keisha Dennis, with co-hosts Elder Michael and Dr. Lorraine Vernal. In 2021, the Jamaica Union Conference held the second staging of the From This Day Forward program, and the CJC Family Ministries Department provided its usual support. From Friday, August 13 to Sunday, August 15, 2021, our highly anticipated Singles Weekend Convention was held. Friday Night Vespers was presented by Dr. Doreen Morrison from the Northeast Jamaica Conference. The Sabbath celebration was a blessing, with presenters Dr. Clive Dottin from the Caribbean Union Conference and Dr. Zandre Mahansing from the Racecourse SDA Church. On Sabbath, December 12, 2020, we participated in the Health Ministries Department's Virtual Health Emphasis Day, which focused on abuse and mental health. Presenters included Professor Jason Winter, Chair of the Department of Behavioral and Social Sciences at Northern Caribbean University, NCU, Dr. Dolphy Cross from the Southeastern Conference, and Dr. Roy Dennis. From Sabbath, March 20 to Sabbath, April 3, 2021, our department again partnered with the Health Ministries Department to host the conference-wide It's All About Relationship, Health and Family Evangelistic Seminar with Dr. Dolphy Cross and Dr. Errol Bryce, President of New Steps to Health, a non-profit organization. More than 20 churches locally and over 10 churches internationally participated in this initiative. An important step we undertook was comprehensive health ministries. We sought to emphasize wholeness in ministering to the physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, and relational needs of members of the church and community. We also partnered with the Health Ministries Department. The Health Ministries Director assisted as one of the counselors for the H.S. Walters Health Center Emotional Support Line. In taking action to serve humanity, our objective was to follow the example of Jesus by committing ourselves to humble service and ministering to individuals and populations most affected by poverty, tragedy, hopelessness, and disease. The department continues to provide counseling to youth at the various camp sessions, as well as educational presentations through youth ministries.
Call on Dr. Dennis at this time to come. It's very interesting that the work done in family life, the majority, 99.9%, was done by Dr. Dennis. And Dr. Dennis is the one who is going to give an overview of the report. But that is how the work goes. Your turn.
Thank you, Dr. Knight. Good evening, everyone. I want to extend appreciation to Dr. Knight, extension his wife, Sister Knight, for their commitment and dedication to the work in family ministries. And as he said, for continuing the work of family life education, enrichment, and counseling in the Central Jamaica Conference. We normally say prevention is better than cure, and we have two strategies in the family ministries that we utilize, the preventative and the curative. And the curative is the counseling services that we offer. Preventative is education.
And we extend appreciation to you, Dr. Knight, for continuing to provide education. This is where we can steer families and individuals in the right direction, because as we see from the report, that ministry was not just to couples, but ministry was to seniors, ministries was to the singles, and so on. So continuing to educate population. Want to extend appreciation to you, not only you and your wife, but your team. We heard the voice of the Secretary of the Department, Ms. Bonner, and we extend not only to the conference, but to the local churches where we have our pastors, our family ministries, leaders, couples ministries, singles ministries, and men's ministries leaders. I want to extend appreciation to you not only for your ministry and service, but for your example in family living. Amen? Because that is important. The positive example in your own relationship speaks volume and can in itself be a ministry. A well-ordered, well-disciplined family, Ellen White says in Adventist home, can do more than any sermon that can be preached. So this is a powerful example to the world in family life. And also, finally, I want to extend appreciation to you for your support to the work in the wider organization. We have had a number of programs from the Jamaica Union since I have been there, and all of those programs, and we have had a number of meetings with our directors, and Dr. Knight has participated and given quality support, as we expect from Central Jamaica Conference, to all of these programs. So we applaud you, your family, and your team for the work that you have done in the Family Ministries Department. May God continue to bless you, sir, and your ministry. And I should say, we extend appreciation to Dr. Vernal and Elder Vernal, who gave quality support for the period of time that I was serving and she was serving as Family Ministries Director at the Union. All of our programs were supported by Dr. Vernal, as we supported all of the programs of Jamaica Union. Thank you, and God bless you.
I would like to join in commending Family Ministries team for exemplary work for the period under review. This time, I would like to open the floor for questions, observations, or commendations. Dr. Knight, I'm not seeing anyone. Yes, there is someone coming to the mic. Number 3. Go ahead, introduce yourself and pose your question.
Check 1, 2. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Name is Paul Allen, Maypen 70 Adventist Church. Some years ago, I think it was before your time, Pastor Knight, there were a number of persons who were trained locally to give counseling to persons in the field and those persons who were in the local churches. So it was not possible for everyone to go to 58 Brunswick Avenue, but rather there were counselors that were trained in the field or from the local churches to assist with counseling members who were having challenges, be via family or otherwise. Is that still ongoing? Because we haven't seen anything like that today. Is it still ongoing, or is there anything in the pipeline that is able, that Central Jamaica Conference has to assist persons who are experiencing family challenges and problems in the local churches, that they would not have to travel to the conference for that service? Is there anything?
Thank you very much, Elder Allen. Yes, Elder Allen, there is a list of counselors in the Family Life Department that are in readiness to attend to the needs of the individuals who are in need of help. Just call, all you have to do is call the Family Life Department, and you can be set up with a counselor who will take it from there. But the list is there, and the counseling is ongoing. Yes, Dr. Dennis.
Just to say that we had 16 professional counseling, because what Brother Allen is speaking of is a system with volunteer counselors, many of whom were not professionals in the field. However, we had, and the conference, as far as I know, still has volunteer counselors who are professional psychologists in each parish that gives support to the conference. But also, we just launched, just a couple Sundays ago, the National Adventist Counseling Professional Network was launched. 147 persons registered, and these are professional counselors, social workers, psychologists, guidance counselors, and they are from the various parishes all across the island. And we are putting a structure in place where all the counselors in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we will be harnessing their expertise to assist with counseling ministries in the local churches.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Dr. Knight, I'm not seeing anyone else. So again, I want to commend you and your team for work well done. I'll now hand it over to our chair.
We will now invite the Ministerial Director and Pastor Barrington McLean will be chairing this segment to share that report with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Over the last 4 years, Pastor Daniel, Dimitri, Dedikiah, Denario Pink was tasked with the responsibility of leading the pastors, elders, deacons, and deaconesses. I believe, my friends, that he did an outstanding job. He acquitted himself quite nicely. And at this time, Pastor Pink is here to give his report, to share his stewardship of what transpired over the last 4 years. At this time, I'll now turn over to my pastor, Pastor Daniel Pink.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Barrington McLean, my close colleague and friend indeed. I must express gratitude to the constituency in general for having chosen me at a very crucial time to give leadership to the ministers in Central Jamaica Conference. This is not an ordinary task. This is a very awesome task. I must at this time commend our administrators, past and present, who have given tremendous support to my ministry. To the various directors at Central Jamaica Conference that would have participated in many programs that we would have accomplished. We try to do everything from a Christ-centered perspective, and you will see as we go forward in the presentation. To lead young men, middle-aged and seniors is not about fun. These are professional people. These are experienced people. These are people who are well trained. And I pause also at this time to give great commendation to Northern Caribbean University, Dr. Edwards, because the university continues to produce, to mold and fashion young lives, young minds for the ministry. And we want to commend Northern Caribbean University. I must also commend my union director, Dr. Joseph Smith, my friend and colleague, would have given tremendous support to me in guidance, in counseling, in phone calling, and all the rest of it. He would have played a pivotal role over these 4 years. Let me say, however, that I am also indebted to my wife, Corinne, and to my son, Akshan, because without them, I could not achieve much. Could not achieve much. A marriage for 38 years is no ordinary achievement. And to be in ministry, serving at Central, North and Northeast, back at Central, for 34 years of unbroken service is no ordinary achievement. And I must say, when I was called to this ministry, I was very hesitant. It has never dawned on me to work in the office. I would have always seen myself as a field soldier, working with the people in the various districts. And I must thank, remember, Pastor Levi Johnson, the then president, Pastor Ronnie Henry, and then Pastor Danvers, who would have succeeded Pastor Henry at the time as executive secretary. They put it to me that I would be the man to lead the pastors in Central Jamaica Conference. And I could not back off. I could not say no. I took on the task. And I can assure you, the Spirit of the living God is real. We are part of a great church. Great church. This is God's remnant church. And I can assure you, as we go to the screen, you will see as it unfolds. God bless you as you view it.
Over these 4 years, the ministerial department has set out to make Christ the center of all our activities.
Lift Jesus higher, 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 higher.
We have set out to inspire, to motivate, and to educate our pastors along a certain line of ministry. We would have done that through various ministerial fraternities, would have done that through various training with experts from the various fields, IAD, Union, and even Northern Caribbean University. Our pastors have been very effective even amidst the COVID crisis. They have worked tirelessly hard to inspire, to motivate, and to educate their congregants. In terms of the elders, deacons, and deaconesses, they have helped tremendously well to keep the constituency on the cutting edge of ministry.
The ministerial department ensures that Christ is always in the center of our activities and programs. Our vision is to educate and nurture our leaders to maximize their full capabilities. Under the first imperative, which is to promote communication, education, and development, our objective was to continuously educate and train our pastors to better equip them to guide our members. Several activities helped us achieve this goal. Our pastors and elders were continuously involved in quarterly training sessions from the Inter-American Division. Over 250 elders and pastors have completed the training and are certified. The Church Resuscitation Program was introduced and implemented by former CJC President Pastor Levi Johnson. The following churches were beneficiaries: Ainentown in the Spalding District, Mitchelltown in the Lioneltown District, and Gravel Hill in the Racecourse District, Mizpah in the Christiana District, Victoriatown in the Asia District, and Bethel in the Maranatha District. Windsor Church in Central Village, Jackson Church in the District of Tredegar Park, Hawkers Hall in the Glengoff District, and Springvale in the Bog Walk District. All these congregations were supported positively, and each district experienced growth during this period. The quiz competition was hosted consistently from 2018 to 2019, but due to the pandemic, it was postponed in 2020 and 2021. Our goal was to maintain unity in prayer to overcome struggles and to support each other spiritually. Toward this end, a prayer team initiative was launched so individuals could pray with partners for family members, conference programs, and local programs. The administrators, directors, local pastors, interns, ministerial graduates, and retired pastors were all placed in prayer groups. We integrated health ministries to equip our pastors with the emotional resources necessary for handling their work. Pastoral welfare evaluation was conducted twice for the year. All pastors from St. Catherine, Manchester, and Clarendon joined online with various guest presenters to discuss new techniques for evangelism during COVID. Pastors Retreat was a refreshing event each year. Camp Verley and other sites were used as venues. Pastors were able to relax and focus on presentations by various guest presenters. Since the onset of the pandemic, the retreat has taken on a new form by being mostly online, along with other activities. The ministerial department continued its work in preaching, teaching. Our aim was to encourage members to continue being good stewards and partaking in communion service. A communion service for pastors was held in December of 2019 at Camp Verley. During that time, ministerial wives assisted with organizing the emblems. We worked to encourage members of the church with regular visitation and calls. Visitation has been an effective method of communication with our shut-in members and retirees. A main feature of visitation was the distribution of care packages. During the quadrennium, the department made continuous efforts to ensure that our dedicated members were taken care of.
I pause to thank our administrators, our directors, our ministers, and last but not least, our admin staff. Permit me to name a few. Mistress Maxine Campbell would have done a tremendous work. She eventually migrated to Britain to her husband. She was ably succeeded by Miss Crystal Blake, who did an excellent job. Recently, she was transferred to the business aspect of the conference. and she was ably succeeded by Mistress Lisette Martin, who has settled down, and she has been doing a tremendous work in the ministerial department. Suffice to say, I want to thank everybody, and the overall exercise will show that the ministerial fraternity, the ministerial department was not static, nor was it silent even amidst COVID. God bless you.
I want to thank Pastor Pink for that wonderful presentation. Truly, he worked well with our pastors, elders, deacons, and deaconesses over the last quadrennium. We're delighted to have Dr. Joseph Smith, who is here with us. Dr. Smith currently serves as the Ministerial Secretary of the Jamaica Union, in addition to his responsibility as the Assistant to the President in the area of evangelism and strategic development. At this time, we invite Dr. Smith to give his take on the report that he would have seen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor McLean. Thank you, Pastor Pink. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, delegates. I am extremely delighted, on behalf of Sister Lana Brown, serve in the Ministerial Department at Jamaica Union Conference, to register sincere and profound gratitude to Pastor Pink and his team, which also comprises the shepherdess, Sister Barrett, our pastors, the pastors' spouses, and also the children, our ministerial offspring, Sister Knight. I want to register profound gratitude to you, Pastor. I have known you for many years. Those 34 years of ministry, I've had the opportunity of rubbing shoulders with you, and I've seen your commitment. You have demonstrated your commitment to ministry. You have been an exemplary pastor, and you have given outstanding leadership as you visited the pastors, as you organized programs. And the report this evening just captured a very small segment of what you have done. And so I want to commend you. You have also worked with the administration in preparing a number of our pastors for ordination. And Central Jamaica Conference must be commended that you have had the largest number of pastors ordained in recent times. Put your hands together as we express gratitude. Our pastors are very important. They play a very critical role. You also have been involved and given tremendous support to the union in the preparation of our elders, our pastors and our elders for certification. And we commend you in producing, preparing, and distributing material for the deacons and deaconesses. And we want to salute you, salute your leadership, you and your wife, your son and her spouse, for the outstanding and exemplary leadership you have given. Thanks for an outstanding report. And before I take my seat, I just want to ask us to remember our pastors in prayer. Keep them before God. Even as we speak, there is one of our pastors who lost his wife and he is ill. It's Pastor Da Costa. And Pastor Da Costa and I were ordained right here many, many years ago, 1993. And we are mindful of the fact that he is not well and he has lost his wife. Along with the other individuals and their families, we want to keep these persons in prayer. I am begging us, I am asking us, pray for our pastors, pray for our pastoral families, pray for our elders, pray for our leaders in the church, our deacons and our deaconesses. These are specially targeted by the enemy, but we are confident that the God of Israel will defend them. And with your prayers, I am sure much will be achieved. Pastor, thank you for outstanding leadership over the 4 years. It has been my joy and distinct pleasure to work with you. And may God continue to bless you, bless your ministry, and bless your family as you give of your best to the Master. Thank you. God bless you. I invite for him a round of applause for the outstanding work.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. At this time, we will entertain questions, if there are any, or if you have any comments that you would like to make to Pastor Pink, we invite you to do so. And we have just about 2 minutes for this segment.
Good evening, all delegates. It would be remiss of me if
Please identify yourself, Pastor.
Okay, so Melvin Parker, pastor of the Bartons district of Seventh-day Adventist churches. I think it would be remiss of me if I do not say this. Having known Pastor Pink, it is quite obvious that he has a natural love for pastors. I remembered when I made my entrance into Central Jamaica Conference, and I sat in the first Ministerial Professional Association meeting. When I looked behind me, I saw a gentleman coming in, and he was just rubbing the heads of all the pastors, and they were just smiling. And I said to myself, this man must be special. There is a connection between the pastors and the ministerial secretary. And I must say to you publicly, Pastor Pink, that you are fitting for this office, and may the good Lord continue to bless you and continue to impact us as ministers as we preach the everlasting gospel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Parker. We can just take one more person. If there is someone else who wants to say something, we can take you now. If not, let me just put a wrap on this by saying thank you so much, Pastor Pink, and thanks to you, our loyal delegates, for having participated, for having worked closely with Pastor Pink over the last 4 years. May God bless you all as we continue to do the work that God has called us to do. Thank you so much.
Being a ministerial director is a tough job, especially when you have so many pastors working with. Pastor Pink, over the last quadrennium, have given his all and his best to the ministerial department, along with the 30 plus years that he has given to ministry. I invite you to, at this time, give Pastor Pink a standing ovation, because he is not tired, but he will start his retirement soon after. For such a one who 34 years of unbroken service to the cause of God, one who sought to build ministry, not only in Central Jamaica Conference. I remember when I just got district in Chapelton, Pastor Pink used to travel up and do my weddings. Pastor Smith was the parish coordinator at that time, and that is over 26 years. Joseph Smith, I'm talking, not Everett. That is over 26 years. And he has given unbroken service, not only to the pastors, but to the elders and leaders of this Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Join me in a standing ovation and a round of applause for this great soldier of Christ. Sir, we wish you well. And we know that we'll be able to call on you at any time in service to God. We would have heard, and we have just 2 more reports for today. And hopefully by the time we're through with these 2 reports, then supper will be ready. I know that it's past some of us are eating time, and probably other things will be ready. But we heard from him before, and during the last 6 months, he served as our family ministries director. But over the past 4 years, he has served as our education director. I was supposed to have chaired this segment, but I've asked Dr. Thomas Brand to introduce to us the person who led the education department and have him share the report with us.
Thank you very much. Pastor Knight, Dr. Knight is no stranger. We went to school together. We graduated together. And I just love this gentleman. Dr. Clifton Knight. I am very, very proud of you, sir. And I believe you have a lovely report to give this evening on the education program. Brothers and sisters, delegates, Dr. Clifton Knight.
Thank you very much, my batchmate and colleague. Just want to pause to say thanks to Pastor Pink for his years of service to the church. He also was my batchmate. We came a long way. But he's going. Well, don't think I'm far behind him. You know, but it's another privilege to stand here in this auditorium this afternoon and to present a report from the Education Department. Let me say that Seventh-day Adventist Christian education is alive and still relevant for these times. The education that we offer is more than book knowledge. It is the harmonious development of the whole person, mentally, socially, physically, and spiritually. God designed this education for the salvation of our children, for the training of leaders and workers for the church, and to take the everlasting gospel to the end of the world for his second coming. Let me just inject here a very, very good piece of information that I think you will like. The treasurer for the General Conference is a black Jamaican. Is a black Jamaican. Dr. Douglas. Paul Douglas. But that is not what I want to tell you about. I want to tell you that he is a product of Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. That is what I want to tell you. Went to Kingsway High School, one of our schools in Kingston, and he went to West Indies College, now Northern Caribbean University. Seventh-day Adventist Christian education is alive and well. I'm a proud product of Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. And I speak about Seventh-day Adventist Christian education with a passion because I believe in it. My entire family are a product of Adventist Christian education. I will say it loud and clear. There is no other way. But Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. Don't mind me if I feel like preaching. I feel like preach every time I stand in front of a crowd to talk about Christian Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. Oh man, I tell you, a passion builds up in me that I want to explode, but I can't do it here this evening. I have been given the task to represent you, Christian education. Been given this task. And in spite of the pandemic, we can say with confidence, through the grace of God, that we have accomplished the task that was given to us. Begging you, sit back and watch the report as coming from the education department on the screen. I will return to do some more work. Thank you.
The Education Department of the Central Jamaica Conference continues to underscore the importance of Adventist Christian education, the goal of which is to prepare students to live with Jesus in the world to come. The larger aim in no way excludes achievement of scholastic excellence at each stage of academic preparation.
As our devoted team of educators assist students to develop a strong desire for God and the study of His Word, they also prepare them to write and pass various external examinations, to matriculate into tertiary institutions, and for the world of work. This quadrennium has been dynamic and filled with blessings and challenges. But we have used the challenges as stepping stones, and we believe that God will continue to do great things for us.
The Education Department
Our
provides
students
support and
participated not
supervision for the
only
Willoughby
in
Group of
academic
Schools
activities,
and the Campbell's Castle
but
Preparatory
also
School.
in
There are also
socially
several basic schools and early childhood
interactive
institutions in the parishes of
initiatives
Clarendon,
such
Manchester,
as
and St.
Jamaica
Catherine
Day,
that are run and
outdoor
operated by
sporting
our local churches.
activities,
The Victor Dixon High School,
etiquette
Maitland
training,
High School, West Indies
virtual
College
field
Preparatory
trips,
School, and Northern Caribbean
and
University are Adventist institutions operated within
fun
the
day
conference.
and
There are
road
also
trips.
several evening institutes conducted at many of our churches to provide opportunities for members to further their studies and develop vocational skills. During the quadrennium, support for Adventist Christian education was demonstrated through various scholarships and donations. One of the primary objectives of Adventist Christian education is to integrate faith and learning into every aspect of the educational experience, along with devotional sessions conducted before each class and object lessons learned from the subjects taught. The spiritual experience of our students was heightened by prayer walks, biannual weeks of prayer, spring and fall, worship sessions, prayer garden experiences, and the Inter-American Division IAD Day of Prayer in schools. Among the numerous activities carried out by the educational institutions over the period were Pathfinder Club meetings, student baptisms, promotions in local churches, and Bible study with students. The administrative staff, principals, and teachers of the educational institutions participated in various training sessions conducted to enhance their skills. These included programs by the Inter-American Division at Jamaica Union Conference, the Ministry of Education and the Early Childhood Commission, and the National College of Educational Leadership (NCEL). Throughout the period, many of our administrators and teachers also upgraded their qualifications. Here are some highlights of special occasions. The department hosted 2 education summits over the course of the quadrennium, one face-to-face in May 2019 and the other online in June 2021. An awards ceremony was held at each summit to recognize the long-standing workers who had given 15 years and over of dedicated service to Adventist Christian education. In 2019, a total of 47 principals and teachers were awarded, and in 2021, a total of 90 teachers and principals were awarded. Mrs. Sonia Preddy and Mr. Winston Preddy were also recognized for having served for 43 and 45 years respectively and for dedicating their lives to the growth and development of the students at the Maypen High School. On November 13, 2021, the Jamaica Union Conference hosted its Education Certification and Commissioning Service under the theme Certified, Commissioned, and Ready for the Mission. A total of 18 principals, administrators, and teachers were certified and commissioned from the Willoughby Group of Schools and the Campbell's Castle Preparatory School. Each year, the schools carried out their respective graduation exercises. In 2020, they were forced to host graduation exercises online due to the COVID-19 restrictions and protocols, limiting the number of persons in face-to-face gatherings. The Willoughby Group of Schools participated in the Week of Kindness program when acts of kindness were done for the less fortunate. Teachers and students carried out benevolent activities at the Brunswick Golden Ages Nursing Home, Mustard Seed Children's Home, the Huckleberry Community, and others. The conference donated 10 laptop computers to 10 of the early childhood institutions. The Education Department, in collaboration with the CJC's Welfare, Health, Empowerment, Education and Local Community Wheel Program and the Parish Development Action Committee, PDAC, have assisted more than 20 needy students from Northern Caribbean University, Willoughby Group of Schools, University of Technology, and the University of the West Indies. The Christian SDA Early Childhood Institution and the Old Harbour Seventh-day Adventist Early Childhood Center were among other groups supported. 8 principals were awarded at the 2019 and 2021 camp meetings and Lay Institute for dedicated service to Adventist Christian education. Our students participated not only in academic activities, but also in socially interactive initiatives such as Jamaica Day, outdoor sporting activities, etiquette training, virtual field trips and fun days, and road trips to museums, wholesales, and various places of amusement across the beautiful island of Jamaica. The students appreciated these refreshing experiences, which exemplified a balanced approach to life. The January 2020 school year was a challenging year for all the institutions, as they were greatly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in the closure of schools in March 2020.
The principals and administrators continue to engage the students through various media such as Zoom, WhatsApp, Google Platform, and direct calls. To address mental health and overall lifestyle adjustments, special presentations and various training sessions were conducted to help principals, administrators, teachers, students, parents, and guardians to cope more effectively with the challenges of the pandemic. Presently, the blended approach of face-to-face and virtual classes are being utilized, with the various grade classes scheduled at different times of the week. In some cases, the older students who will be sitting their CSEC exams attend face-to-face school full-time. Among the many accomplishments of the Willowdene Group of Schools since 2018 is the refurbishing of the auditorium and its naming. The facility was named the O.B. Mackenzie Auditorium in recognition of the contributions made to education and the Willowdene Group of Schools in particular by the late Pastor O.B. Mackenzie and family. Other outstanding accomplishments included refurbishing and equipping of the science labs by the Franks family, installation of Wi-Fi internet connectivity across the campus, and significant improvement in students' performance in exam passes both at the preparatory and high school levels. Total enrollment at the Willowdene High School was 238 in 2018 to 2019, 266 in 2019 to 2020, 271 in 2020 to 2021, and 219 in 2021 to 2022. Enrollment at the preparatory school was 323 in 2018 to 2019, 304 in 2019 to 2020, 301 in 2020 to 2021, and 310 in 2021 to 2022. Enrollment at the Early Childhood Division was 117 in 2018 to 2019, 138 in 2019 to 2020, 86 in 2020 to 2021, and 83 in 2021 to 2022. The department empathizes with the family, loved ones, and staff of the school as they mourned the loss of two dedicated workers. The persons who passed away are Mrs. Beverly Graham Harris, Vice Principal, and Mrs. Cynthia Leon, Janitor. Major accomplishments at the Campbell's Castle Preparatory School are the launch of a community blackboard initiative. During the COVID-19 lockdowns, the principal and teachers of the Campbell's Castle Preparatory School went into the community and taught the children. The Adapted Classroom Program. Plans to launch this program are underway. Enrollment at the Early Childhood Division was 91 in 2018 to 2019, 64 in 2019 to 2020, 97 in 2020 to 2021, and 93 in 2021 to 2022. Since its inception, Adventism has emphasized the importance of training the younger ones, and this has been of paramount importance in our church schools. At the beginning of the quadrennium, 22 church schools were being operated. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, 16 schools are currently in operation. Despite the challenges, the principals and administrators are giving their best efforts in maintaining the schools and in navigating the new normal using the various channels of communication. Enrollment in our early childhood institutions was 1,033 in 2018 to 2019, 763 in 2019 to 2020, 930 in 2020 to 2021, and 679 in 2021 to 2022. The department is grateful for the dedication and invaluable support of all individuals and entities that contributed to the success, growth, and development of the department at the various levels.
Let true education continue to shine forth for God's honor and the glory in Central Jamaica Conference and beyond.
Thank you very much. Pastor Knight, Dr. Knight has a passion for Christian education. We're going to take any comments or so, but I am sure Dr. Edwards is here, and of course, he is the boss at NCU. And Doctor, I bring you on.
Thank you, Pastor Brian. I
think you're still a hurricane. You're sounding strong. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to commend Dr. Knight and his team for the excellent report, and I speak on behalf of the Northern Caribbean University. On a personal level, Dr. Knight's passion for Christian education finds an answering chord in my own heart. And I am moved by your passion, sir, and I thank you for the report. Let me just say that Jamaica needs Adventist Christian education at this time. So from early childhood right up to tertiary, our educational system is needed to make a difference in this country and beyond. And one way to judge a system is through the success of its graduates. And Pastor, you mentioned the treasurer of the division, but he's just one of many persons who have passed through our systems and who have done well. Our pastors have been attracted regularly to North America because of the quality of training that they receive right here through our educational system. So my congratulations again, sir. May God continue to bless you and your team and your ministry. And Northern Caribbean University stands ready to take your children and to prepare them not just for this life, but for the life to come. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. Brothers and sisters, when I look on the several schools, be they private or governmental schools that have to close during the pandemic, and yet Pastor Knight, Dr. Knight is so passionate about Christian education, I really have to commend him. And all our schools are still open. I take a break. The president of the union is here. We have to take a break, Pastor. We have to take a break.
We know, brethren, that after tomorrow is the Sabbath, and we have to do preparation. So as much of the work we can do tonight, we are going to be doing it. And so we have a second report from the nominating committee for you, and I'm going to ask our secretary to present that report.
Thank you. Once again, the nominating committee sat and we carefully discussed and deliberated on the names, and we are recommending to you, Mr. Chair, and to the delegates, the following names. For Secretary, Pastor Howard Grant Langley. Should I read all the names?
Yes, all the names.
For Treasurer, Roxwell Lawrence. And, well, for Vice President of the Central Jamaica Conference, Pastor Billy Watson. And finally, at this time, the Associate Treasurer, Leroy Ross. I now move that we accept the names as is recommended by the nominating committee.
Okay, it has been moved. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. I do not see anybody standing or moving to the mic. Okay, those who support this recommendation, could you raise your white cards? Thank you. Those opposed, your blue cards. Thank you. I'm going to ask the president, before the president, I'm going to invite the secretary to come forward and the treasurer of the conference to come forward. Where's Mr. Ross?
And teach all nations, go ye therefore, and change the generations. Use your resources now and make this declaration. I will go, I will go, I will go. I will go all the way. My case on him as he cleanses me from sin. I will answer when he calls, just to reach both great and small. I will go, 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 I will go. And in the marketplace, guide me, I'll go. I will go all the way. I will go both night and day. I will fix my case on him as he cleanses me from sin. I will answer when he calls, just to reach both great and small. I will go, I will go, I will go. Go ye therefore and teach all nations. Go ye therefore and change the generations. Use your resources now.
Delegates, I'm going to invite the spouses of these newly elected officers to come forward. Sister Watson, Ava, and I know one person is not here. I'm going to invite Carlene. This is a picture of the administrators and their spouses. So please, the spouses that are here. Yes, so just just take off a little of the sweat. Delegates, this is a beautiful sight. And this is the team that you have elected. And I know our president will make short remarks before we leave, but I just want to say that it was my privilege and honor many years ago to have recommended Elder Billy Watson to serve as treasurer of this conference. And he has never disappointed his God or disappointed the church in the Central Jamaica Conference. And I am so proud of you. I have a lot of respect for you, and also respect for your new president as he sees the value in having you on as part of the administration, as you leverage your experience and expertise in continuing to building the work of the Lord in the Central Jamaica Conference. Roxwell, the nominating committee feels that you are a very good prospect. And we believe in you. We feel that you are going to continue to do well in the Central Jamaica Conference. Welcome. God bless you. Pastor Secretary, you have, from morning, you have been demonstrating a synergy between you and your president. And I believe that this team under God is going to do exceptionally well in the Central Jamaica Conference. God bless you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Pastor Brown and committee members. We really appreciate, I do appreciate your vote of confidence, these individuals to carry forward the work in administration. Pastor Billy Watson and I go way back. He's like a mentor to me. I recall those days when I was in Maranatha in Barnstable where I lived while I was a student. I used to attend the Maranatha Seventh-day Adventist Church. He was the one who invited me to participate in the worship service there as a theologian, a theology student. And from that time until this day, I have the greatest of respect for this man of God. You know, we talk together and he shared his desire to maybe serve another year and then retire. But we value his expertise. And we feel that, you know, as we looked at the transition, we could keep him in administration as a vice president. And there are other areas that you raised earlier on. You talk about the title and property and all those things. He has a knack for that as well. So there are a number of areas that he can help us with as we look at the transition. So we have to keep him on our team. So we welcome you, Pastor Billy Watson and Sister Watson. Thank you very much.
Please pray for us, brethren. We want to bring one last report for you tonight. And so pray that we'll be able to achieve that. Thank you.
Let me put something in perspective. Now, the nominating committee will continue its work tonight, but we're going to take one more report after this one, and then have supper, and then you're free for the rest of the evening. And then tomorrow morning, we will bring the report from the nominating committee to you. Are we clear? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, delegates, just want to conclude this report, but we praise God for the report that came thus far. Thank you very much. Dr. Knight, it's your time, sir.
Let me just take the time out to say a word of thanks to individuals who supported us in the department. Just say thanks to the administration of Central Jamaica Conference, past and present, for going beyond the call of duty, especially during the 2 years of the pandemic, they did not withhold anything that was good from our schools. As a result, the doors were not closed, like some other private schools who had to close their doors during the years of the COVID pandemic. Our schools were still open because of the contribution of the conference. Just want to say thanks to the school board members also for their support and love for Adventist Christian education. Whenever we call a board meeting, they are always there. Thanks to the administration and staff of the Willowdene Group of Schools and the Campbell's Castle Preparatory Schools for their love for the work, for their diligence and hard work. In spite of the COVID pandemic, they did not run away or stay away, but they had classes online and they had classes when they had the opportunity face-to-face. But they were always there to make sure that their students were not left out in the cold. And we just want to say thanks to them and for the other schools in the territory, like Victor Dixon, West Indies College Prep School, NCU, and all these schools. We just want to thank you and thank the staff and the faculties for seeing to it that we had schools and that our children were able to finish their courses and graduate. Season of graduation coming up in a few days. We just want to say also thanks to my admin assistant, Mrs. Orinthia Cole, for her hard work and diligence. She was always on top of things. Thank you, Mrs. Miller, for being there for us. And finally, just want to say thanks to my wife of 38 years and a lifetime to go. You never complain when I had to leave the bed like 4:30 in the morning, when I would need a little more time just to warm up myself. And I had to leave to make sure that I get ready for work. But you never complain. Thank you very much. My wife and children, I know that you guys are my biggest cheerleader. Thanks a million, and thank all of you for the confidence that you had placed in me. May God continue to bless you, and may God continue to bless Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. God bless you.
Another round of applause.
We'll be having the final report of the evening. It is said, and all Seventh-day Adventists knows this, that the Sabbath school is the heart of the church, and the personal ministries or evangelism is the lifeblood of the church. We also know as Seventh-day Adventists that it is proven very challenging to motivate and to engage our members in evangelism. And worse with the COVID-19 pandemic, the challenges increase. However, the director of this department, he did not give up. He worked with his team to design and to develop strategies to participate in online evangelism, to encourage the churches to push action unit plan and small group. He conducted online training to remind Sabbath school workers of ways they can implement to reach the members. He did not leave the team, but work with them. He motivated, he encouraged, and he provided guidance. Brothers and sisters, I am very pleased to have been asked to introduce a man who I respected, a person who I admire, a man of God, a preacher of righteousness. I introduce to you, and mark my word, I introduce to you the current Sabbath school and personal ministries leader, Pastor Barrington McLean. Help me welcome Pastor McLean to the podium.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Smith, for your kind words of introduction. As Pastor Smith rightly posited, the Sabbath School and Personal Ministries Department is the lifeblood of the church. The first impression is made when a person visits the Sabbath School. He or she will have a good or bad impression of what the church is all about based on that interaction. Evangelism is what we do. It doesn't matter what the season is. If the church does not evangelize, the church will fossilize. The year 2020 ushered in the COVID-19 pandemic, and evangelism became difficult, or the methods that we employed became difficult. However, we were not daunted. We, by the grace of God, came up with new strategies. And I'm happy to announce, my friends, that God has blessed us tremendously. Over the quadrennium, over 7,500 precious souls were baptized. We say, to God be the glory, great things he has done. Permit me very quickly to thank all my Federation officers. I begin with Elder Glenn Heaven. When I became director, he was the president of the St. Catherine Lay Workers Federation. Currently, Elder Donovan Thomas serves, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to these two gentlemen. In the parish of Clarendon, Sister Suzette Tullow was the president when I came in. Subsequently, Elder Kevin Leiber has taken on the reins of leadership. I commend and applaud these two outstanding workers and the team in Clarendon. Sister E. Bev Small was the president when I came in Manchester. Subsequently, Elder Alicia Mitchell has assumed the reins of leadership. I thank these two ladies and the awesome team in Manchester. Can I have a round of applause for my Federation officers? I want to also thank Sister Jasmine Miller, my administrative assistant, an outstanding worker. She's the engine in the department. Special thanks to her. When I came in, she sat me down, she nurtured me, she guided me, she gave me a number of beautiful pointers. Sister Jasmine, thank you so much. I want to thank Pastor Pink, the ministerial secretary, who worked very closely with me, and all my fellow directors, all the pastors. Thanks to you all. Thanks to my administrators, our outgoing president, Pastor Levi Johnson, and our present president, Pastor Neville Barrett, and the entire administration, I say thanks. Last but by no means least, I want to thank the sweetheart, the sugar in my tea, Raquel Rovi Osborne McLean. She has been a tower of strength to me. She has stood by my side. There were times when I came in very late from evangelistic meetings. She understood and she supported me. Thanks to you all. And I invite you at this time to watch the video presentation and you will see exactly what took place over the last 4 years. Thank you again, and may God bless you all.
The Sabbath School and Personal Ministries Department encouraged, promoted, and demonstrated to our members of the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists the importance of living for Christ.
The Sabbath School and Personal Ministries Department takes great pleasure providing the necessary resources to equip our members to evangelize communities and reap God's harvest in preparation for Christ's imminent return. As a result, over 300 training sessions were conducted over the period in the areas of Sabbath School, witnessing, and personal evangelism. The department, along with the Lay Workers Federation, conducted these training workshops, and a total of 552 persons benefited. Consistent training of the laity resulted in over 70 lay preachers being trained, and to address the demands from digital evangelism, 200 persons were trained to do online evangelism. The director answered several preaching appointments throughout the 3 parishes that constitutes the conference on Sabbaths for Divine Hour, street meetings, church crusades. He also shared the mission of the church and the strategic imperatives of the conference and the progress that has been made as far as these imperatives are concerned with several congregations. These occasions were used to launch the evangelistic campaigns like Adventists on the Move and the Fires of Hope evangelistic campaign, which began in the first quarter of 2020. Also to promote conference programs and events, conventions, camp meetings. Preachathon saw several lay preachers and pastors being engaged in this series. A sermon, program outline with the discussion questions were prepared and sent out to the churches. There were 4 phases of the Fires of Hope evangelistic series: lay preachers, youth, children, and pastoral. The final quarter of 2020 saw our conference partnering with Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, JAMU, for the Let's Talk About Him evangelistic campaign. Camp Meeting and Lay Institute was held online for the first time in 2020 due to the novel COVID-19 pandemic. During the event, special training sessions were conducted for the entire constituency. These sessions were conducted by Dr. Carlton Bird. Digital evangelism was explored, developed, and executed via online decision cards and Bible lessons. To God be the glory. 7,121 precious souls were baptized over the quadrennium. The Possibilities Ministry is still very active and on the move, catering to individuals with special needs. During the quadrennium, Mrs. Leneve McLeish was assigned to work closely with the director, Pastor Barrington McLean. Meetings were organized with representatives from the Lay Workers Federation in each parish during the quadrennium. Some Federation officers are being trained in sign language. The Lay Workers Federation across all 3 parishes were actively involved in serving others through workshops and other outreach activities. In Manchester, a special needs workshop was held at Royal Flat, and 19 churches in the parish participated. The Federation also assisted the indigent through personal efforts. 2 building projects were also done in the Central Zone, Miketown district. 1, a family of 5 living in a 1-bedroom structure. Assistance is being provided to enlarge a home to add another room and bathroom to the structure. 2, a family of 10 living in a 2-room board structure. Work is being organized to have 2 members of the family placed in a separate structure. The Clarendon Federation sponsored 3 young men with technical training through the Heart Trust NSTA National Skills Training Agency. In partnership with an overseas foundation, over 40 students received notebooks, textbooks, and other school supplies. Lay Workers Rally and Community Impact was held at the Lioneltown SDA Church on Sabbath, August 24, 2019. Priorities magazines and tracts were distributed in the afternoon. There was also a massive community impact at the Lioneltown Square. St. Catherine Lay Workers collaborated with the National Blood Transfusion Service under the patronage of the Governor General, His Excellency the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen, and conducted a massive blood drive. The date and venue were on Tuesday, August 14, 2018 at the Willowdene Group of Schools and on Wednesday, August 15, 2018 at the Linstead Church. The Central Jamaica Conference's Bible School continues to be the avenue where the church and members can access international and local Bible lessons series used mainly for one-to-one ministry and field preparation for crusades. Our two main distribution sites are CJC Head Office and Mandeville Church. To date, we have distributed over 100,000 lessons. These included the 7,000 lessons for the Happy and Healthy series used for Footprints of Hope, breaking the evangelistic glass ceiling campaign in the first quarter of 2022. During the quadrennium, 144,000 were ordered during the period, and to date, over 139,000 were sold to churches and individual members. The Priority Magazines is one among the many complementary literature that is issued to our members free of cost to be used for evangelistic outreach. 504,000 magazines were issued to district pastors and members throughout the period. Prior to the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, the ministry maintained a presence at two correctional institutions located within Spanish Town, St. Catherine: the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center and the Rio Cobre Juvenile Correctional Center for Boys. Post-COVID, a church visitation impact program was developed. The following churches were visited: the Rock Hall SDA in Portland, the Coopers Hill SDA in Portland, the Cheesefield SDA in St. Catherine. These visits included a tract distribution drive within the community and culminated in an outdoor meeting at their community center. The keynote presentation was made by Pastor Carlton Richards of the Cheesefield Church. The ministry has also been very active in the lives of released members. Monthly stipends were released to baptized members, also assisted others with startup funds for small businesses. 4 persons have been baptized in this ministry. Sabbath School and Personal Ministries continues to be one of the most important parts of the Christian life. It gives us the opportunity for fellowship, mission, understanding, outreach, and one of the greatest parts, Bible study and discussion. What a privilege to be able to study our Bible and the adult Bible study guide in a small group setting and make the wonderful biblical instructions practical for our spiritual experience and witnessing.
I must express my debt of gratitude first to God for His divine leading and guidance in all areas of Sabbath School and personal ministries. Heartfelt appreciation to all our conference administrators, directors, the Bible School Coordinator, Elder Delroy Ferguson, pastors, members, Mrs. Jasmine Miller, who served as the administrative assistant, for their constant support and guidance. I must also thank my dear wife, Raquel, for her unwavering support. I must also say thanks to all the Sabbath School officers and personal ministries leaders and Lay Workers Federation officers for unreservedly giving of themselves in the cause of the Master. May God bless you all for the great work that you have done over the last quadrennium.
I invite you to do a little bit better than what you have done. Put your hands together for a rich and fulfilling report. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to invite Pastor, my friend, Dr. Joseph Smith, to come and comment on the report.
Thank you, Pastor Smith. I rise to express gratitude to Pastor Barrington McLean and the team here in Central. On behalf of Pastor Adrian Cottrell, the Sabbath School and Personal Ministries Director of Jamaica Union Conference. And I also want to share commendations to Pastor McLean based on my own working with him as the person in charge of evangelism and the outstanding support that he has given to the mission of the church here in Jamaica Union Conference because of his leadership here in Central Jamaica Conference. The mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is to make disciples in preparation for the coming of Jesus Christ. And I must say that our gathering here for session is about preparing us and equipping us for mission. And so I want to register the conference. Pastor McLean has done a great job over the past 4 years. The conference has baptized some 7,167 persons, and we say to God be the glory. Put your hands together for the leadership of this conference, for the work that has been done by our pastors, our lay evangelists, and our members who have been out there on the battlefield continuing to press the work of God forward. And the good news about it is that so far for 2022, over 1,040, well, close to 1,100 persons have been baptized. We say to God be the glory. COVID-19 or no pandemic can stop the preaching of the gospel. We are here to make disciples. Commendations from Jamaica Union Conference. May God bless you, bless your ministry, bless your family as you continue to lead the forces here to tear down the kingdom of Satan and build up the kingdom of Prince Emmanuel. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. And I must say thanks to you and Pastor Cottrell for your outstanding support that you gave to us here in Central. It would be remiss of me this evening if I didn't express that. You are one of my bosses, and the other boss is Pastor Cottrell. You are two great men, and you remind me of the people at Hardware and Lumber. You are good people to deal with. Thank you so much for your support over the last quadrennium. We really, really appreciate you both.
At this time, we're going to open the floor for 2 minutes. If you have any question to the director or any concern, we'll take them at this time. Thank you. No one is approaching the hurricane. Thank you.
I'd like to say a word or two, Pastor. Because especially now, it is not easy to win a soul. And to see over 7,000 persons baptized in the 4 years, it deserves commendation. I believe Pastor Barrington's McLean's head is in the right place. There is nothing that is as pleasing to God as when his church rescues men, women, boys, and girls from sin, from the pit of the enemy. Pastor McLean, long live your ministry. May God continue to bless you and use you to work acts of miracles in saving men and women from the pit of sin. Congratulations for the hard work and God's blessings.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brian. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, my classmate, Dr. Brian. Is there any other question? Dr. Paul?
Thank you, Pastor. I have already addressed Paul Hallin Maypen Church. Earlier on, Pastor, I must first of all commend you for the job well done.
Thank you.
Over the quadrennium, and it speaks volume. However, Pastor Knight said that he had a passion for education. And personally, I have a passion for lay preaching. And I was one of those persons who were certified by Central Jamaica Conference in 2004 and has been preaching the word ever since. However, on the matter of lay preachers, there have been a number of lay preachers who have been certified by Central Jamaica Conference over these many years. A few quadrennium has passed, and it is as if these lay preachers are extinct. Most of them cannot be found. What is Central Jamaica Conference doing to mobilize or get back these lay preachers in action so that more work can be accomplished in the field of lay preaching? That's one. And two, as far as the Sabbath school is concerned, because I also served in the past as the president for the Lay Workers Federation, which has to do with the Sabbath school and the lay preachers. Due to the pandemic, Sabbath school has gotten a serious attack. What is in the pipeline to revive Sabbath school as it is now, so that the reporting can be done and other things that we would normally do be done through the medium of the Sabbath school, and also to help in harnessing souls for the kingdom of God?
Thank you, Elder Allen, for those two questions and also your commendation. I'll take the first question. What are we doing to get back those individuals we would have trained as lay preachers? That's a very good question. We have lost quite a number of them. It's not that they are inactive, but they have gone to other conferences. And it doesn't give me any pleasure in saying that. Presently, the department is on a drive of massive recruitment. All three federation presidents, Elders Donovan Thomas, Kevin Leiber, and Alicia Mitchell, and their team members are actively engaged in the recruitment process. As we speak right now, we are recruiting and we are trying to get back, and you would have been at one of those meetings. Our new president, Pastor Barrett, is passionate and he wants to get back those former lay preachers. You would have been at that meeting that we had earlier on this year at the Mandeville Church, where he invited all our lay preachers, all our Bible workers, and we have seen a new synergy. A number of these persons who have retired have decided to come out of retirement. So we have had 2 meetings with our president. So the persons from Manchester and Clarendon came to Mandeville Church, and the St. Catherine people came to the Family of God Church. And our president had a serious talk with them. A number of them are coming back, and they have since become active. But we are on a massive recruitment drive. Elder Dexter Pusey, working with the Youth Federation, he's one of the leaders in the Youth Federation, and Pastor Barnaby and I work very closely together. So the youth are being trained, they're being mobilized, and in short order, Elder Allen, if our lives are spared for November, we will see a massive mobilization of our lay persons. And we're saying to everyone in this room this evening, we are going to invite you to be a preacher. Everyone needs to preach in Preachathon. We're going to tear down the kingdom of Satan and build up the kingdom of God. Question number 2, what is the department doing, especially in this COVID-19 crisis? We have become very intentional because, Elder Allen, we have seen a decline in membership in the Sabbath school. Quite a number of persons are at home. Some have no desire to return to the physical structure. We have looked at that carefully, and my VPs for Sabbath school, all 3 VPs in the 3 federations, the 3 parish federations, have been having some strategic meetings. They have shared their ideas with us, and by God's grace, we will roll out these initiatives in short order. So whoever the Sabbath School and Personal Ministries leader is, going forward, a blueprint has been set so that that person, or if I am retained, whoever that person is, will ensure that this particular initiative is executed so that the Sabbath School can get back to its rightful place of nurture, sharing the word, community outreach, and study of God's holy word. Thank you.
Well, brothers and sisters, that was the final report for the evening, the report from Personal Ministries and Sabbath School, presented by Pastor Barrington McLean. It has been a well-spent day.
Indeed.
My sister, it's been a long day,
Yes.
very long, but God has been good. And Joey, I guess we should remind you of the officers that have been installed so far. The nominating committee has done its work. We heard the first report this evening. I think it was about after 5 thereabout that we got the first report from the nominating committee. Our president is Pastor Neville Barrett. Our vice president, Pastor Billy Watson, and my sister. I will leave the other officers for you to share as we seek to pull the curtains down here.
Okay, so we also have Secretary Pastor Howard Grant Langley, that's Executive Secretary, and Treasurer Roxwell Lawrence, and the last name that or position and name that we heard of today is Associate Treasurer, and that person will be Leroy Ross. So that rounds off the administrators that have been elected so far to serve for the next 4 years.
That is correct. And so we did accomplish that which we set out to do when we started this morning, was to ensure that the administration, at the very least, the top officers, the treasurer, the exec secretary and our president were elected, and a number of officers were also, other officers were elected as well. We want to give God thanks. We are going to be pulling the curtains down, my sister, but you do have a few words to share, so go right ahead.
Oh, well, yes. I wanted to say that we will continue with our reports for tomorrow. We have some reports that will be aired tomorrow. We also will be hearing of more officers who will be elected. And we also will continue with the Central Conference Session Challenge. Now we have three questions posted on our social media platforms, and I'm just going to quickly read the second and third questions because we would have shared question 1 earlier today. Question 2, state the name of the female communication director and the year she served. And the third question, how long has the current treasurer been in office? And current treasurer meaning the gentleman who served as treasurer before. He's no longer the treasurer. He's now the vice president. So how long did that person serve in office, or how long have they been in office? So remember, you have to answer all the questions correctly in order to stand a chance to win the prize.
That's right. Well, my sister, I think it is goodbye from us this evening. I know the committee is still at work, but we pull the curtains down here. We join you again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. sharp. So we encourage you, we invite you to join us again at that time as we continue to look at the business of this 6th Quadrennial session of Central Jamaica Conference.
Thank you to all of you who joined with us locally and abroad, and we do wish for you God's richest blessings.
God bless you. Bye-bye.